The Supreme Court is hearing arguments today in a landmark case that could put nearly 700,000 young immigrants at risk of deportation. The Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, commonly referred to as DACA, protects immigrants brought to the U.S. illegally as children. The justices will consider if the Trump administration's termination of the Obama-era program in 2017 was legal. CBS News immigration reporter Camilo Montoya-Galvez has been covering this story extensively and joins me now from outside the Supreme Court. Hi, Camilo. We can hear the protesters behind you. We know that dreamers gathered there today to have their voices heard on what is surely a very important day for them. So remind us what the stakes are for this case.
Right. Good afternoon, Tanya. At stake here at the Supreme Court is a decision into whether they will allow the Trump administration to end protections from deportation to nearly 700,000 undocumented immigrants who came to the U.S. as children. And just to give you an idea of how unprecedented a development would be for the court to allow the administration to end the program, I could explain to you, Tanya, that the U.S. has never in its history extended protection to such a large group of unauthorized immigrants and then moved to revoke them, depriving a population which has integrated into American society and making them vulnerable again to deportation.
And so you spoke to former Homeland Security Secretary Janet Napolitano after she presented her argument for keeping the program. Camilo, what did she have to say?
Yeah, so just as she was leaving, Secretary Napolitano, who oversaw the creation of the DACA program during the Obama administration in 2012, told me that she believes her side made a compelling case in front of the 9 justices, and that she says that the justices will eventually agree that they can review the administration's decision to end the program, and that they will find that the DACA program was lawful and constitutional. But I was reading the transcript of the hearings, Tanya, and I do have to say that some of the more conservative-leaning justices on the court did seem inclined to allow the administration to end the program. Justices like Brett Kavanaugh and John Roberts, the Chief Justice, really seemed to suggest that the administration had the authority to end the program and that its justification was sufficient.
The president, of course, watching proceedings closely and tweeted today, quote, "Many of the people in DACA, no longer very young, are far from angels. Some are very tough, hardened criminals." President Obama said he had no legal right to sign the order, but would anyway. If Supreme Court remedies with an overturn, a deal will be made with Dems for them to stay. Interesting overture, right? So what has been the reaction to that overture from the president?
So I think the first thing we have to address, Tanya, is the first part of the president's statement about branding DACA recipients as hardened criminals, because we know that one of the requirements for the programs is not to have a serious criminal record. That is one of the main requirements for the program, and the agency that operates the program, USCIS, also has the discretionary power to rescind DACA protections for individuals if those individuals come in contact with the criminal justice system. So those are important facts that I think we need to underscore.
Right, that makes part of the president's tweet then patently incorrect.
Correct. And to your the other part of your question about a deal with Congress, we have to remember that the White House and the president have been offered several proposals to place this population of young undocumented immigrants on a pathway to U.S. citizenship, but he has refused all of them because Democrats, on their part, have refused to fund more immigration enforcement and the construction of a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border.
Right, which has always been part of the deal regarding DACA. All right, so Camilo, what comes next in this case then?
Right, so we've spoken to several dreamers, and they believe that regardless of which and the type of decision that the Supreme Court makes, they will still need a permanent solution to their situation, because even if the Supreme Court sides with those challenging the Trump administration's decision to end the program, they will still not have a pathway to U.S. citizenship. That is an important fact about this program. It does not allow those who benefit from it to obtain green cards and subsequent citizenship. They just get work permits and are exempt from deportation. So they will still have to find a way to urge Congress and the White House to find a permanent solution for their situation.
Yes, these thousands and thousands of immigrants in limbo for a very long time. All right, Camilo Montoya-Galvez, thank you so much for joining us.